All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Nosebleed Section. Thank you for watching our last videos. This guy's a tough guy, I guess. All right. Thank you to those who watched and got our first video up over 100 views. It's a big milestone for us. We're just starting out, so every view counts, every subscribe counts, and everything. For those of you who are not watching, you guys are losers. I don't know what you're doing. Now I'm kidding. So thank you for checking into the first episode. Hopefully you guys stay with us. We're going places, and tomorrow's the draft, and this is going to be a lot of draft information coming at you guys. We're going to hop into a couple subjects before that, and then we're going to pretty much hit the draft pretty heavy tonight. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys are going to willing to listen. And yeah, as always, comment, like, share, subscribe, follow us. I forget anything else? I don't think so. Yeah. All right. Let's go. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the Gettleman situation and his comments as far as the culture of the team and the locker room. Some people are reading it both ways, saying that he said certain things about Odell, or it was kind of an indirect thing because he only said it after Odell, was traded. Other people were saying no, he was saying this the whole time, and it's not a shot at Odell. It's just something that he wanted to clean up in the locker room. So we're gonna kick it to Abood. We'll start with him since he is all of the other Giants fan here. I'm gonna hear what you guys say, and then we'll kick it around after that. Let's go, Abood.
Nah, for sure, man. The whole thing about David Gettleman's comments that kind of threw me off guard is that if he was such a problem and you were if you were so relieved to have gotten rid of him, like, why are we still talking about him? And if he really is this cancer to the locker room or really goes against this culture that you preach about, like, why are we even still talking about him when you're trying to establish a new culture, especially when you have players that played alongside him in the locker room who now that might carry into next season. Now they have negative feelings all of a sudden. But honestly, it's immature on both parts because, yes, we got rid of him, but now you're kind of making it look like you got fleeced in the trade. So now you're trying to justify it as like, well, I had to take anything to get that cancer out of the locker room. And for Odell too, it's like, bruh, you got paid. We sent you to go play with your best friend. The Cleveland Browns are up and coming. They got that young quarterback. They got a couple of defensive pieces coming. Like, all right, this 60, 70-year-old man said something about you. Like, be the professional. You don't have to be so reactionary. That's the thing everybody had on you when you were playing for the Giants, is that you were so reactionary and that you were so quick to show your emotions when it came to something. And I get it. He took a shot at you, but it's like, if you know you're on to bigger and better things, you don't constantly have to tell people that you're on to bigger and better things.
Who's Dre? Either you guys want to chime in on it? Go ahead.
Like Odell's remarks had nothing to do with like what Dave Gettleman said. They came after like a fan tweeted at him to like the fan said, "Shut up, you loser! You were a locker room cancer," and that's when he went off. Like that. That's when Odell started making his comments.
He tweeted after David Gettleman's comments got out, basically something along the lines of like, all right, since everybody has something to say today, if you say something to me today, today's the day you get a response. So that's why I'm saying, because like I follow him actively on social media since we've drafted him, and even in his mentions, people talk reckless to him, people talk crazy, even when he was putting up crazy stats for us, even when he was breaking all these records. So this reaction on social media, especially like this kind of, I'm going to call it negative interaction with the fans or with whoever, me personally, I feel like it's 100% a reaction to David Gettleman's comments, because you only decided to respond now that these comments became so public. Once it came from somebody whose team you played for, as opposed to like reporters insinuating, oh, you're bad for the team, if that pushed you to do it, I got to feel like that's definitely reactionary.
Dre, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds a lot like the Antonio Brown situation. You know, if you're if you're happy with the situation, then you don't need to talk about, the last situation. You know, it's best for everybody to move forward. But at this point, I think Dave Gettleman is more or less just, like you said, trying to, make it look like he had to do the deal for whatever reason. You know, everybody's looking at him like they don't know what he's doing. You know, nobody really can tell exactly why he made the moves that he made, and you know now it's like this. He's just trying to find a scapegoat. So I mean, I didn't like none of the moves he made, and I really don't like when you know a GM or an exec is throwing a player under the bus after he's already gone from your team. You know, like I might not be particularly a fan of Odell the person, but I never saw him as a locker room cancer. I never thought that he caused a problem in that way. It was more or less, you know, the antics going on the sidelines and you know stuff like that. But as far as actually having problems with players in the locker room, I never got that out of him.
Yeah. Real quick, I mean, I just want to say, like, I feel like both of them are kind of in the wrong here because, from what I remember, I've seen the whole thing about Gettleman making comments as far as cleaning up the culture in the locker room and everything. But to me, it seems like he didn't say anything. And to me, it just seemed like a shot. It just took like a quick parting shot. Like, it was an unprofessional parting shot, in my opinion. Like, I know the guy kind of gave him a setup question. The guy threw him an alley. He just like had to throw it home. Like he had to just be that guy. He could have said something like, we made the moves that we made, and we're going forward with this team. Blah blah whatever. Some professional move over it. Next question. Like not for somebody to say that and he's just like, oh yeah, now it is. Like like now it's cleaned up. Like to me, it was just kind of an unprofessional thing. But even with Odell, like again, you could just saw it and just built and just kind of laughed and just been like, all right, whatever, and just moved on. Like I personally felt like a lot of it was personal because I feel like Gettleman doesn't like people's personalities. Honestly, like I feel like he wants everybody to just kind of be an emotionless robot, and just play for the team, and just walk on the field, play, go off, and go home. Like, and I love Odell because I love his personality, but like to me, I just felt like they both kind of were in the wrong situation. Like he didn't have to be such a jerk about the way how he responded. No, Dell could have just been like, "All right, I'm on the Browns. We're like the complete opposite of the Giants now. We have a winning attitude, winning mentality. We got Baker. We got my best friend's playing across from me. Like we've been playing since we were little kids together. Like we got all these young pieces, and we're probably gonna make some noise in the playoffs this year. So you know what? Thank you. You did me a favor. Now I'm good. Like, but Boo, do you have anything else you want to add? Or
I mean,
or
I
Dre?
just
Anybody?
yeah, I really feel like Odell really probably responded because of how hurt he was about the situation. Just looking at the way that he was traded, it didn't look like he wanted to be. You know, it's not like he really was begging to leave New York. He really wanted to win there. So, once he has all of these people, the fans that he showed that he cared about, and a lot of them are turning against him and like listening to all of the bullshit that somebody might say. Now he feels like he has to take it upon himself to defend himself. Like, yo, I loved to like I really wanted to win with this team, and I caused no problems until this guy walks in, right? So I don't know. Like, and plus, it's like if I'm not mistaken, Gettleman signed Odell to the big contract, correct? So, like, if anything was really valid, then he would have never signed him to that contract in the first place, and just let him go. Like, so, you know, let-
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. My whole thing is that like I feel like me personally, from the second Gettleman came in, you kind of felt like he had this like preempted opinion on Odell. Even I feel like as far as their relationship goes, the only positive thing that occurred in that relationship was the fact that he paid him, and that could have been more of a tactic to, At least you know now you have this player locked up for however many years. Now you could use him as a trade piece. But at the same time, I'm not going to say like this is completely out of the regular for Odell to respond, because even last year, when I think it was after he got paid and that interview came out where he was like talking about Eli Manning and he was just on that ESPN interview, it's like he has put himself in unfavorable positions to where like if he really wanted to embody the sense of professionalism that he like really talks about, you don't put yourself into these situations. Like, and everybody talks about when you like Larry Fitzgerald is the role model for what like an NFL player should be. How many
Consummate
terrible
profession.
teams, literally, how many teams, losing teams, has he been on? And he's never once been the reason why that there's like tension in the locker room or talked shit about the team or brought in all this unnecessary drama. It's like he sat there, he ate shit, went to only one Super Bowl in his career, and guess what? Larry Legend. He's still going to go down as one of the best in the game. There's just a way you can go about everything. And like I said, if you're fully confident and capable in yourself that like no matter where you go, you're going to ball, you're just a dog, like it doesn't matter. Like you shouldn't even have to worry about what this dude that didn't like you from the jump has to say about you. And like for sure, Gettleman, that's mad immature. Like how the hell are you gonna? How are you supposed to? How are team or players supposed to want to come and play for you, knowing that if things don't work in your favor, now all of a sudden you're throwing them under the bus, calling them cancers, calling them all these problems, when it's like you're just setting us up to look terrible to any incoming players or free agents rather that are coming in, because at least draft picks, they kind of don't have a say. They have the ability to draft them and teach them the culture, but I don't see a lot of these top tier players going to want to come and play for Gettleman now. So now we have to develop from within. It's just like a big shit show.
Yeah, I feel like you got to worry about any guy who will attack his players, and trying to defend himself, like that's what happened with Chip Kelly, and we see what that got him. So
Yeah, um, yeah, we can go on and on about it. I know there's a lot of people that are probably going to disagree with a lot of things that we have to say, but we're gonna move on. Next
we're
thing,
all in
this is
agreement.
definitely something. Yeah, I mean, I see it from both ways. You know, like again, Odell should have just to me, Odell should have just been like, all right, if that's how you felt, then whatever. You put me back with my best friend, so I'm here. He should have just been moved on, and Gettleman could have answered a more way more professional way. But yeah, we're gonna move on. So I know you guys probably saw Ben Roethlisberger got his extension, probably guaranteeing he's gonna be a Steeler for life. Um, oh, my man got paid. Yes, he did. From what I read, it was 2 years, $68 million extension that he can actually make up to. $37.5 million in signing bonus, and his $30 million in injury guarantee money. Um, I mean, it's Ben Roethlisberger. It's probably going to be, if not the best, and obviously maybe top two or three Steelers quarterbacks of all time. Yeah, it's a lot of money though. It's a lot to invest in that position at his age. Like 30, it's like what's 30 plus 34 million or 32 million a season, like that for the next 2 years. Like that's a lot, man. Who's got anything you want to say about that? Yeah, you do. You do.
I love how you went to me first on this. Y'all already know my opinion on overpaying quarterbacks, but this one, I mean, Big Ben is what, like 36 years old right now, getting this kind of money. This man just mulled retirement last off season, like, and you just like, I don't know. I think at one point he was worth this kind of money, but not at this stage in his career. I mean, I think this is one of those like, oh, you know what? Well, you've been a Steeler your whole career, and we haven't really paid you like that. So here's the bag now on your decline. And now who's he gonna throw to? They traded his best weapon. I know they got Juju, but who do they have behind Juju? Like realistically, like if all teams gotta do right now, all teams gotta do is double cover Juju. Who's he gonna throw to?
Well, let's just say first of all, I just checked. Big Ben is 37 years old. So,
I was close. Year off.
yeah, like that's too much. You trying to pay this guy until You hoping that he's going to play until he's 39, you know. But regardless, he did throw 5,000 yards last season. You know, I get it, and you know Russell Wilson just got paid, so like he could make the argument he has the Super Bowl on his resume, you know, too. So I wouldn't have, you know, how many years did he have on his contract? Was he on his last one?
I think
Last year.
this was his last year.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is what you do when you don't draft a quarterback for the future.
What do you mean? They've drafted Mason Rudolph and who's the guy from
Josh Dobbs.
Tennessee? Yeah, Josh Dobbs. They've drafted both of them.
Yeah, but Josh Dobbs, I don't know if they actually believe that he was going to become a starter at some point. Mason Rudolph, I guess they still. How much can they actually believe in him if they're paying Big Ben for his 38th and 39th year, or 37th and 38th year?
I mean, like I said, my outlook on this is maybe this is their like, oh well, you know what, you've been a Steeler your whole career. Like we'll throw the bag at you at the back end of your career. Like
basically the Joe Flacco treatment.
I mean, nah. First of all, Joe Flacco got that contract after their defense won him that Super Bowl. At least when Big Ben won the Super Bowl, he made that shoestring tackle to save the game versus the Colts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, Joe Flacco did have a nice ass run. That game against the Broncos, what he did to Champ Bailey, that was kind of serious. He just
got paid one throw. Unbelievable.
Like three of them. But
great.
It's only 3 throws. I will give you that.
You tell me if you're gonna pay a quarterback over $100 million that goes 4 for 17 with 44 yards and 2 picks for the game. You tell me if you're gonna pay that man.
I'm not.
All right.
Like I'm not. I wouldn't have gave Nick Foles $22 million, but you know I'm happy for him.
Hey, you and me both, bud. You and me both.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I mean, to Ben's credit, Ben has made the most with the receivers that he was given. I mean, none of us saw Antonio Brown being this receiver that he is. The 6th-round receiver, I believe.
Hold on. Did you say he did the best he could with the receivers he had? My guy had Hines Ward, Santonio Holmes. What do you mean?
The Steelers have almost always had a pretty good.
Yeah, this guy's his entire career they've had stud receivers. What do you mean he did the best with what he was given?
I mean, he has, because even Jesse James has had a good season.
Here's my point. The point I'm making is that at the end of the day, he has the receivers he has now, and he's going to make the best of the situation. They're going to be good because you were saying who he has to throw to. I'm going to tell you that he signed Dante Moncrief. They have Juice Smith-Schuster. They have Ryan Switzer. They have Eli Rogers, and they can pick up a receiver in the draft. So, what are you talking about?
They usually have pretty good wide receivers. You know, even Sammy Coates put up good numbers with him. Martavis Bryant just came and went with them. Like, I forgot the other guy's name, Marcus Wheaton. You know, they always have a pretty good wide receiver course.
Marcus Wheaton, to me, he was a bust. Martavis Bryant could have been great, but
what is Stephen A?
I'm just saying their time with the Steelers for that 1 year or 2 years, they might have been serviceable. And
Mike Wallace and Antoine Randall out too. But other than that, honestly, like I was looking at this contract, and I get it because we literally have this conversation all the time. Like you have to pay for what you can get for right now at the current time, and that's what really determines the contract. But it's like, let's be real here for like a quick second. Like, is Ben Roethlisberger even top 5 in the league right now? So it's
also like what you said. You got to pay for demand. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think any team is giving Big Ben that kind of money off the Steelers and free agent.
No, I'm talking about them right now.
Yeah.
Them
36,
right now with their
37.
uncertainty. And then to talk about your guys' point as far as like, oh, they've been drafting quarterbacks. Let's not act like Big Ben is the most mentoring quarterback in the
Oh
world.
no,
Like, he's
not at all.
quick to teach a rookie quarterback all
He's a
the tricks
dick.
of the trade that has taken him his whole career to learn. No, because I know this guy's coming in to take my job. I'm not teaching him shit. So for the Steelers, it does make sense that they would pay him. No other team was going to, but I guess for them, they found. And honestly, that's bullshit. Because I'm telling you what, if Eli comes back next year and he tries to fucking do the same thing, I'm taking him out back. I'm not playing that shit with Eli. Be like, nah, listen, we paid you. We've been suffering because we paid you. Here's $3 million. Let's go fucking teach Jake Fromm next year.
Yes. I still think he got paid way too much. $68 million for 2 years? Nah, I'm not. Nah, I'm not a fan of it. Not gonna happen. I mean, I understand that's his contract to say like, all right, you're done. You're retiring as a Steeler, hopefully, because nobody's giving you $40 million as a 40-year-old quarterback if you were to leave the Steelers in free agency. But I mean, I don't know. I think he had a good year last year. Obviously, he had AB that last year and everything. I don't think he's going to have as good a season stat wise because regardless of who you draft, you're not going to replace AB. But I don't think the Steelers are one of those teams that don't pay for a lot of those other positions. You know, they let Le'Veon Bell. Obviously, the whole Le'Veon Bell situation, they were having that. But I mean, it seems like they will pay for some defensive players and probably O line, but money most of their money is allocated at quarterback. If it ain't quarterback, you're replaceable. Honestly, that's what I see from them. They're gonna replace Le'Veon with James Conner and Jalen Samuels. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe they'll pick up a quarterback in the draft. Running back. Sorry, but we'll move on. We have the Frank Clark trade, which I think was all right from the Seahawks standpoint. Seahawks did great. Seahawks
Awesome.
did great. From the Chiefs standpoint, what are
The
you
biggest
doing?
fleece.
What are you doing? Dre, start us off on this because I got for someone to throw.
Wait.
I remember my first time finding out emojis.
All right. So, all right. Like, first off, just to put all of the information out there, what was he traded for? What was the exact terms of the deal?
I think it was a first round, the Chiefs' first round pick this year. I think a second next year, and a swap of third round picks this year. Like they swapped third round picks.
And I mean,
And I think there's another second in there too. I think it was both seconds. I think it was a first, a second. It was something crazy. Look it
I'm
up. It was
gonna look it up right now.
regardless. It was stupid.
Listen, we're just gonna keep pussyfooting around. I'm gonna say this: how the fuck does he get same guaranteed money almost as Russell Wilson? Can somebody put that into words for me? I just want to know. That's
There's
literally
no
all
way.
I'm curious about.
There's no way. I mean, this guy has topped out at 13 sacks, and that was this year. And I mean, I guess they're trying to bet on him as far as they think that he's going to be going through his prime, and whatever we saw last year, he's going to be that and more for them. But it's a crazy ass bet because you're not just betting draft capital, but you're betting a large percentage of your cap to a guy that may or may not affect the game every play. Like if he is every play game wrecker, of course it's worth money, but it's such a high risk, middle of the pack reward. Like, I mean, man, I don't know.
I'm sorry. Did the Seahawks? Did the Chiefs trade for Reggie White or something? Like that's the only person I'm giving that money. I'm giving that draft capital for. What's the whole trade?
It was so they gave them their first round pick this year, which I think it was 20 something, late 20, maybe 29, 2020 second round draft pick, and both of them swapped their third round picks with each other. But my whole outlook on this, if you were gonna pay a pass rusher that kind of money, you could have paid D Ford slightly cheaper and kept your draft capital. So I don't see the point in them doing this. I thought the whole reason why they got rid of D Ford was they couldn't afford to pay him. But you go and give Frank Clark all this money. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. They're contradicting themselves this offseason.
They could have didn't they even have the option to tag D Ford?
Yeah, I think they did. I think they did tag D Ford.
Really? Oh, and
He
they
was
traded him
tagged. He
on the
was
tag?
tagged.
Huh?
They traded him on the
They
tag?
traded him.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
traded him, and then whoever, what was it, the Niners that got him, they agreed to a contract. That's the only reason why they gave up picks or whatever. But they got a second round pick out of that too. So that shit don't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me
Okay,
at all.
so I'm sitting here looking at the stats and just trying to really make sense of that because like Frank Clark had a great year last year, but so did fucking D Ford. Now both of them put up 13 sacks last year, except D Ford had 7 forced fumbles. And you let this guy go off of your team, and you spent draft capital to pick up somebody else. I don't get it. I really don't understand it at all. So I mean,
My point is you could have got similar production and just kept all your draft capital by giving the money to D Ford for slightly cheaper. But instead, they traded away D Ford, and now they give up a first round this year, a second round next year, and they slid down the draft in the third round this year. For what? You had it. You had somebody with similar production who's a similar player. You could have had him for slightly cheaper. D Ford
e-
didn't want to leave Kansas City.
even worse is that you could have had him for slightly cheaper as well as whatever that first round pick would have been. You could
Yeah,
put that anywhere.
that's
You
what I'm
know,
saying. That's what I'm saying.
it's
You could have
like
held on to your draft capital and still got that same player. That shit don't make no sense to me.
I don't know. I mean, they don't like to hold on to their players. They could have had faith in Kareem Hunt, but
Not not only that, but in I think in like 2 years they're gonna have to pay Patrick Mahomes the bag.
it's so much. They
That
better
man is
hope.
gonna break
They
the
better
record.
hope he has a bad year this year. Like, just get a high draft pick.
Um. Yeah. Real quick, Mahomes is probably gonna get like 300 million. Honestly, if I'm thinking about it,
For
but
baseball money.
like, yeah, he's gonna get baseball money. But yeah, Frank Clark. So only thing I was looking it up earlier. The only thing I can really say is like Frank Clark. I just looked at it, but Frank Clark currently is 3 years younger than D Ford. That's the only thing I looked at. Like D Ford just turned 28 about a month ago. Frank Clark's 25. So I mean, maybe that's something they looked at. But for the Chiefs to only get a next year second round pick for D Ford and then to give up everything that they gave up just to get Frank Clark, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense. Like you literally could have sat here and you could have had D4 on one side, and then there's so many edge rushers in this draft. They could have sat at 20, 29, whatever pick they were, 28, whatever, and picked up another edge rusher and be on the other side of D4. They could have had something crazy. It would have solved the hole that you had by Justin Houston leaving. Could have both of them as your edge rushers, and you could have been a lot better off.
Or
Now
I
you only
mean,
got Frank Clark.
So
or even put all of the draft capital together and go higher up the board for one of the top tier
so
prospects.
here's my thing that I just remembered since one of y'all said it. I don't remember who said it. But the Chiefs got a 2020 second round pick from the 49ers for D4. So maybe they use that in this trade. Maybe they're giving them the 49ers pick. Or maybe they'll give them whichever the lowest pick is. I don't know. I guess that would kind of make sense. So you basically flip D4 for Frank Clark and a
But
first
it's
rounder.
Frank, yeah, but it's Frank Clark
I,
and a first rounder. I mean, D Ford and a first rounder for Frank Clark. And if somebody told you to do that trade straight up, you would laugh at them. D Ford and a first rounder just for Frank Clark. I don't think anybody would do that deal. You know,
yeah.
but whatever.
No,
At least it's not my kid.
yo, for real. Oh, I can't imagine if the Giants did that. Oh my
Oh,
god.
What did y'all
oh,
get for Olivier
Uh,
Vernon?
what?
What did y'all get for Olivier Vernon?
Zietler.
Some of the
Zeitler,
best guards in the
Peppers.
league.
No, you didn't get Peppers for him. You got
Oh no,
Peppers and
no, we
Odell.
got Zeitler, and didn't we get like a
No,
late round pick?
I think it's Zeitler on the
no.
fourth.
They actually said no. They actually said that they made that one big deal. So they said we traded Odell and Ov and got Zeitler, Peppers, a first and a third. They put it together as one big mega deal. I don't know why, but
I
they
mean,
did. But that's what they came out later and said. But because
That's
better
like in
value
Madden
right
when you
there.
can't.
Immediately, you already have,
That's
better
like
I
in
value to
mean,
pay
Madden where
for
you
it.
can't like put in all the players in one trade, so you got to go back and make a second trade. Like, what kind of shit is
Yeah,
this? What are we doing here?
yeah.
yeah, I know. Hey, I mean, we got one of the best guards in the NFL, so I'm not mad at it. And Vernon was, in my opinion, severely overrated and overpaid. I would
And
never
we
pay
just
85.
restructured Zeitler as well.
Yes, we got 5 mil back in cap space, so that's fine. I would never pay 85.5 mil for Olivier Vernon. Never in a million years.
I
That's your boy
I
Jerry Reese,
got
dude.
I got cursed out by a lot of Giants fans when I laughed at them when they gave him that money. You know, and, like
Yeah.
y'all would hate me if I repeat everything that I said, but you know.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. He was slated to be the best pass rusher in that free agency class coming from the Dolphins. So I
Yeah,
think there's a reason why we threw the
it's
bag at
the
him. It
yeah
wasn't
no, it
just
was
because.
definitely market, but it's just like the anybody else who we feel gets overpaid. It's always going to be dictated by the market. But
Well, it's the market and the fact that we suck, so we have to overpay him.
because you need
You
it
can't
so
sit
much
up
worse
here.
than everybody else. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You can't sit up here and be like, well, we're only going to give you 60 mil or 50 mil, but we're one piece away from going to the Super Bowl. Like, nah, we just went like, 5-11. But we really want you, so here's $90 million. Come be on our team, and we'll be 7-9 instead of 5-11. Oh, great, cool. Well, at least I'm getting $80 million. I don't care. Like, I mean, honestly, why wouldn't you? Why would you turn it down? But I mean, I'm happy he's gone. I know we have a year of dead money with him, but next year it should all pay off. Hopefully, we can hit on this draft, and that puts us in good position. Because next year is supposed to have anywhere between 80 and $120 million in cap space. I don't know who's on the free agency market next year. I have to look into it, but shoot, we can put ourselves in a good position with this draft. Even $80 going into free agency would help so much. That turn the franchise around like nothing. But all right, we're gonna move on. We gotta hit on this Raiders and Mayock sending out the scouts home. Before we do that, real quick, I wanted to talk about the Tyreke Hill situation because it came out not too long ago. It's kind of um, fresh news in people's minds. Um, so I don't know if you guys have any opinions or thoughts about the situation. But Bood, I'll start with you. See what
Well,
you think
do you
about.
wanna give us like some background on the story? Let us know like the details and stuff.
Um, I know it was a child. I know it was a case dealing with him. He was a suspect in his son's child abuse case. I know he got charged with the crime. From what I read, with the federal judge, I think they either dropped the charges or they said he just wasn't being charged in the case. I have to look into more exactly what happened, but I know what's going on. I want to say
They said that he wasn't getting charged, and that they said a criminal act did happen, but there's no
yeah,
evidence
I
to
saw
say
that
who
part.
did it.
I mean, I don't know. That's such a. I almost feel like that's a cop out to me, almost like because you got to look at the circle of people that the child's around. You know, to me, that's why that's where you start. Who's the kid around? Is he around him, Tariq more? Is he around the mother more? Like who watches the kid? A grandmother, an aunt, an uncle, like whatever. You gotta see who the circle of people he's around. You got to narrow it down from there. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Abu, go ahead to see your thoughts on it because I can't put my thoughts into words right now.
It's like it's super tough every time any kind of like this domestic dispute or anything that happens along the lines of like assault or abuse happens, especially in the NFL, because it's like oftentimes people have a hard time separating the athlete from the actual act. And so, like, from what I've heard, like, or for what obviously we've seen, Tyreke Hill, game changer on the field. Dangerous when you have Pat Mahomes as your quarterback because he could literally just air it out downfield. You could just outbeat everybody to the ball. But I'm hoping, because you know that they said there was inconclusive evidence that could actually like they could charge him with, and I'm hoping that it comes out to be that it's not correct. But if it is correct, man, like I don't know. Me personally, I don't give a fuck how talented of an athlete you are. I don't care like what prominent role you play for whatever team. If you do some shit, like you need to be penalized. There has to be like a precedent set. Because it's like if not, guess what? He'll sit out 8 games a year, whatever the case is, and next year get picked up by the Cowboys because that's just how the NFL works. He's just gonna go to he's just gonna go to an organization that has no morals, no ethics, but just wants a cheap game changer. They're gonna throw him like a 1 year $2.5 million contract, a prove it deal. And they're going to be like, let's use you up for everything you can. And then we're going to cut you next year anyway. So it's like, at the end of the day, is it going to stop him from playing in the NFL? Probably not likely. But yeah, man, definitely when it comes to these domestic disputes, man, like it's messy. It's all around messy. And especially, like you said, there was a child involved, correct? Like it's messy. And correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he have like a situation when he first came into the league, like a domestic issue with his girlfriend or something? Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
believe he did. So it's like if this just even a simple fact that you get caught up in similar situations more than once, like I'm never the one to point fingers or label anybody, but the thing is that where there's smoke, there's fire. And now it's going to be kind of hard for you to shake this label wherever you go because so far you've only been in the league how many years and you've already been involved in two. You should have been squeaky clean after that first incident to even be involved in the situation, even if you aren't guilty. That's just irresponsible. You're fucking the bag up, honestly.
And now every time, like the next time he goes to sign, like when he goes to sign his big contract, I guarantee you they'll have some kind of language in his contract that says, you know, if he gets into any kind of legal trouble or anything like that, they can void all his guaranteed money.
Yeah, like you said, Abu, it's hard to just when a situation involves, especially when it involves a child. It's like I don't know. It makes things even worse than it is. Like I'm not trying to put things on levels, but like if it's between like two adults, at least like one adult has that power to walk away or call somebody authorities or something. Like if you get a child involved, the child can't fend for itself or anything. Like it seems like it seems like it almost makes things like even worse than it already is. But I don't know. I, it's a hard subject really to talk about, especially when you don't know a lot of the facts. I mean, I feel like there's still a lot of things that I feel like there's still a lot of things that we're probably we don't know about. There's probably a lot of things that probably aren't going to be talked about. Uh, it's really hard to really even comment on a lot of things. And you don't want to sound stupid if you don't know the facts and other things come out later on that could change everybody's opinion here. But we're going to move on from that. It's a real touchy subject, but it's just something that unfortunately happens in life. And I don't know what happened to this kid or who abused the kid, but it's not a good situation.
One last thing, and we always have this conversation amongst ourselves that like if we were in the position that some of these athletes were in, and we knew we were on the verge and on the cusp of getting the bag, like fam, I'm not leaving the house. I'm not going, and I'm going from my house to practice, back home to the game, home, like especially coming from like if you're one of these kids that grew up and football was your only way to get out Like, why are you going to put yourself into situations where you're just messing up like generational wealth? And I believe he was going to get like that $100 million contract. Like, Tyreke Hill's a video game. He's literally a video game. You just throw it and that boy is gone. He's going to chuck up the deuces and he's out. So it's just disappointing, man.
It is definitely. Dre, if you have anything to say on that, or
I mean, like, I just really hope that, he does come out to not have done it. I hope that he does come out innocent, of any wrongdoing. But at the end of the day, if he did do it, fuck him. You gotta, pay the price, just like they did with Ray Rice and, anybody else who's guilty of it. But like Ab just said, it's kind of like if we were in that situation, if a lot of these guys realized exactly how fortunate they were, then it wouldn't be an issue. We look at fucking who's the number one dumbass? What's my guy's name? Josh Gordon. Number one
number one
dumbass.
dumbass.
I mean, I feel for anybody going through substance abuse, but I mean, you're talking about weed. Like, calm down. All he had to do was not get caught after maybe a couple years, and they would have stopped testing him, just like the rest of the NFL. A lot of people get away with smoking weed, during the season, but they watch him a lot because he got caught so many times. So it's like it doesn't seem like that big of a deal that you should, fuck up your whole career potentially because of.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna move
What
on.
did you say?
Nah, hold on. I got some shit to say.
We're not
um,
going nowhere.
nah, I just noticed that Dre called Josh Gordon the biggest dumbass in the league. I mean, dude smoked weed, man. That doesn't make you a dumbass. Like he kept smoking weed, but like, I mean, come on, man. He shouldn't like weed's not something you should get suspended for, in my opinion. I think that's the biggest bullshit ever. Like, they're so quick to suspend a player for smoking weed, but they'll fucking feed him Vicodin and Percocets on the sideline to go through
Listen,
pain. Like,
look,
come on, that's
I
bullshit.
smoke. I 100% agree with you, and that weed is not wrong and it should not be illegal. But if your job tells you not to do this and your job is paying you millions of dollars, don't do the shit. If my job told me don't wear motherfucking shorts because it's not professional, and I'm like, yo, I like shorts. I'm just going to wear shorts anyway. Then I'm going to lose my damn job. So it's like it's really not that deep. Like,
Yo, my
yeah,
guy,
I get
my
it.
guy, it's
Get
2019.
somebody
Yo,
to
they make
piss for you. Get
it's
someone to piss for you.
it's 2019, my guy. It's a regular piss test. It's not probation. They make fake piss that heats up nowadays. Come on, man.
And
Like,
he has
come
access
on,
to these things. Like, come on, bro.
man.
Like, get the Wizinator. Like, these is anything. Like, and that's why I call him the biggest dumbass. I don't blame David Irving, like for from the Cowboys who just basically effectively quit football, but for that reason, saying weed. There's nothing wrong with weed. I like smoking weed, and I give up that job. But Josh Gordon went through so many comeback stories and so much uh, media hype, and like a lot of people supported him. I was rooting for him like motherfucker, and I don't think he failed the piss test. So if he comes back to the league and he's clean and never happened before, and he's just getting the shit straight, that's fine. But I was more or less talking about before he got reinstated. Like, that's a Martavis Bryant, the same type of thing. It's like just so much potential there that you wasted because of Mary Jane. You ain't that pretty.
We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. All right, we're on to the Raiders and the boy Mike Mayock. his first draft as a GM in the NFL, and this is one of my things I want to hit on. But I'll hit on that later. But my thing is, I don't I don't understand why you would send your scouts home. Like, I understand. Like, this is what the NFL draft is. Every year we know this. Like, you get your information, you get all the information. You gotta sort between which is real, which is fake, your misinformation, your smoke screens, all this stuff. So when he says he's scared that he doesn't know who to trust, so it's just him and his head coach. Like, so you send all your scouts home. Well, that's probably gonna be like picks or rounds 1, 2, maybe 3. But when it gets to the later rounds of 4 through 7, and even like undrafted phase and everything, and you're sitting there scouring to find all these people that you think are gonna fit your team, why are these scouts? Why are these scouts gonna come back to you now? Like, if you didn't trust me to pick all the big superstars, quote unquote, pick rounds 1 and 2, don't sit here and come back to me because I've been out here the whole time flying around all these different places the whole season, scouting people in D1 and small D2 schools, small D1 AA schools, all sorts of stuff. People that have never met you, but they know me, and I have a great standing with them, and I'm the reason that they even consider coming to the Raiders at this point. But now you're gonna sit here and you're gonna send me home. So now this kid I think could have been great for our organization. Why would I bring him in? Why would I say, hey, come to the Raiders? They don't trust anybody. Like, why would I do that? Like, to me, this is the dumbest thing they possibly could have did. Now, this is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for it just to be Mayock and Gruden and let some information leak. Who leaked it now? And now it's not one of those two leaked it. That's all I want to see now. But I'm gonna keep this one Boo to start. You start. You let me know what you think about this whole subject.
Yo, Kuz said it best earlier. Mike Mayock, he fucked us because all he did was fuck us on a good mock draft because all these mock drafts are trash now. But other than that, nah, Joe, you hit that shit on the head. Like, how the fuck are we gonna? How are you gonna have somebody in the building that you don't trust, or how are you even gonna take them back and actually take their opinion seriously, or think that they're credible? And like you said, especially like young talent that you're supposed to be, or supposed to be trusting you rather, that you're kind of guiding them to the right organization. It's a fucked up situation. I'm not the biggest John Gruden believer, anyways. So I just think the Raiders, no matter what moves they make, they're just I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe they know something that we don't. But right now, it's looking really messy from the outside.
I mean, it really looks like they got a beautiful shit show going over in Oakland. And I just really want to know exactly what happened to make him not trust his other people. Did like somebody come up to him like, yeah, you gotta draft this guy Easton Stick. He's gonna be the next, Pat Mahomes. Like, like I don't know. It's like they did a whole bunch of bullshit, and when you trade uh, a couple of your best players, including your best player, you're going to lose a lot of support of people in your own organization, in your own locker room, and so forth. We can't all be muted at the same time, guys.
What a guy.
Oh my god.
I don't know, man. I think yeah, the Raiders are definitely a circus right now. I'm very interested to see how this draft goes for them. And Dre, I know you talked about getting Josh Jacobs, but I'm telling you right now, after Marshawn Lynch retiring, the Raiders are my dark horse to draft Josh Jacobs.
I'm okay with that. I'm fine. Josh Jacobs is not
And
my
no,
top right.
there's no dark horse there.
And speaking on Easton Stick, he might low key be the next Julian Edelman.
What?
Have you seen that man run the
No.
ball? Let's be real. He's probably not gonna be a quarterback at the next level.
Make him an H-back or something. I don't know.
Dude's fucking what is he, like 6'4", 6'3". He's not a short guy.
No, I know.
Who's blocking for that? Like, what the hell? You can see that man from the draft. Like,
Yo, I don't know. I wouldn't even like honestly like if I was a scout, like why would I come back? Now if I'm a scout, now I'm leaking more information to other teams. Like you don't blame me. Like I'm the reason that you know about these undrafted people that play in like Central Arkansas University. Like I don't know, like
I'm sending you
Asian
my
teams.
whole draft cheat sheet along with
Yeah,
my resume.
yeah, for
You know,
real. I
Hey,
decided to I go to
oh,
another team. I go to another team in that same division. Like what's the other team in the division? The Chargers. I'd be like, yo, Chargers. Just to let you know, the Raiders are going with this guy at 4, this guy at 24, this guy at 27, this guy in the second round. I'm ruining everything now. I'm just dropping everything. Well, you're not gonna trust me. I've been out here the whole season. Whole season, you sent me around the globe. I've gone from Jersey to California to Florida to Texas to Nebraska to wherever state you've been, I've been there everywhere. And you're gonna sit up here now, 3 days before the draft. Yo, I don't trust you. Get out. Well, all right. Say no more. Say no more. I'm not like.
But I feel like the NFL does these things where like they have to put out these fake stories to cover up what actually happened. Like, let's be real right here. I feel like John Gruden and Mayock, they probably are both ego fucking maniacs. And when a scout came in trying to tell them what direction they should go in for the draft that conflicted with their opinion, they probably just told dude to get the fuck out. They were like, yo, get the fuck. Like, no, you're not telling me who to pick with my pick. You saw all the shit that I just got trading Amari Cooper and Khalil Mack. I'm not fucking listening to you. And now they got to put out a story like, oh, there's no trust amongst the scouts. We got to get them out of here. I don't trust their opinions. It's like, no, you fucking maniac. They probably told you to do something else, and you straight up told dude, there's the exit. Like, that's why I can't believe every story that comes out in NFL. I feel like they always have to spin it to favor the team.
I mean, and plus both of these guys were on the NFL Network a year ago. Like, come on, no, no. I like that. It's
2 years
just
ago
so
for Gruden.
much shit. It's
What are
just
you
so
trying
much
to say?
shit going on. It's just so much bullshit. Like I just got my popcorn. That's it.
It's a typical Raiders offseason, honestly.
Yeah, for real.
And they turned it around. They really legit turned it around. Like they had Khalil Mack, they had Amari Cooper, they had uh, Derek Carr, and things were looking up. They were into the playoffs. The only thing that really hurt it was Derek Carr getting hurt. But aside from that, like they just gave up on it and said, "Fuck it,
Yeah,
new regime." And I got $100 million 10-year contract. Like I play the damn game, so fuck it. I'll do what I want.
yeah. And then John Gruden came in and was like, "Hey, you know the Seth Rollins intro? Play that real quick." Hey, burnt that thing down.
Jukebox number 3. Just play it.
Here's a quarter. Put it in. Thank you. Thank you. Stop volume, sir. Thank you. Like, my God. You did one good thing. They're like, wait a minute. Who are we? Oh, no. We're doing way too good. No, no, no. No. Pro Bowl, not trade him. He's done. Who, receiver, no, trade him to. What do you do? Oh, you're doing. Whoa, your stats are way too good. Get him out of here. I don't want any of this.
And then you got the
I,
nuts to
I'm a
come back
season.
and be like, well, probably better if we had somebody that could get to the quarterback. You got some set of nuts on you. You got some nerve, buddy. I don't want to hear shit. Take that mic out that man's hand.
And then he says,
Nigga.
it's tough to find a good pass rusher in this league. What?
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
had one and you gave him away.
Didn't they release like a bullshit story and he was like, to be honest with you, I didn't even know we traded him until it was over. Then I got like, my man, did he really just? He just pulled the whole. I put my phone down. I looked back 10 minutes. He was gone. I don't know what happened.
So, John, is that your story? Just sticking to it.
I mean, the whole thing, like from Jump Street, he had no plan on trying to work out that whole situation with Khalil Mack. He never spoke to the man. He never, negotiated. And
How do you not speak to your best player?
your best player, clearly your best player too.
Like by far, like It was him, and then who's your second best player? Like, who's it? Marshawn Lynch, maybe? Like, I don't know. Like, how do you not? How do you, the head coach, you have a franchise edge rusher, and you don't talk to the guy, and then you claim you didn't know he was traded? Like, come on, man. Like, you didn't just sit here and get like a breaking news at Sports Center. Raiders trade Khalil Mack to Bears. Wait a minute. I'm the coach of the Raiders. Like, come on. Like, it doesn't happen like that. Like, you knew everything that was going down. Like, it does not make sense for him to be like, I didn't talk to the guy. I don't know. Nobody believes that, man. Not for a second. Like, come on. Like,
we just said you got to watch out for the guy who, does things and tries to defend himself in bad ways. Like he's sitting here trying to make some kind of defense of himself for trading his best receiver, the second best defensive player in the league, arguably. So I don't know. I just am enjoying the show. Like I wish it was in my division and not my team.
oh, for sure. You sit here and wait for that's one of the highlights of off season. You sit here and you're like, all right. You sit back, you get your popcorn, like, all right. What are the Raiders gonna do this year? Oh, I traded Khalil. Not even off season yet. Oh man, like, come on, man. Like, you can't be this stupid. You can't be this stupid. Like,
Joe, let's calm down, Joe. We picked 2 picks behind them. All right, let's not talk too much shit. All right.
Come on, man. Like, if they would have kept Khalil Mack, they would not be picking 4. Him by himself, they would have had another like 3 or 4 wins. Like, come on. That's crazy to say, but it's an edge rusher that can sit here and he would have hopped in. There would be some type of situation. He would have got a strip sack, a strip fumble, something, and ended the game. One player by himself would have gave you probably 2 more wins on the season at least. Like, come on. Like,
let's really be honest. Khalil Mack added to the Bears defense, made them number 1 in the league. Like, number 1 defense in the league.
But they were still like a top 5 defense without him. It might have made them number 1, but like they were still balling.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. Like that's what that kind of player does for you. Khalil Mack. We're not talking about Khalil Mack for a Pro Bowl. We're talking about Khalil Mack for All Pro and probably a gold jacket. One if he remains healthy for the rest of his career. So.
Oh yeah. But it wasn't even like a situation. I guess to me, not as far as I believe, it wasn't a situation where he was like mad or upset or trying to demand a trade or anything. Not that I remember. It's not like he sat here and was like, "Oh, I hate where I'm at. I hate Gruden. I want to leave." Like, I don't know. It was just
he just wanted to get paid.
Yeah, that's it.
Same thing with Aaron Donald. But you see what the Rams did with Aaron Donald and the Raiders did with Khalil Mack, exact opposite. And Rams were in the Super Bowl this year, part of the
Yo, I feel
like there's nothing to say. Like,
no, it's not.
I feel like the next bracket we should do like the worst trades in NFL history bracket. Low key.
Oh, LaShawn McCoy for Kiko Alonso, please.
He said, please. He's like, please, please.
We haven't had a running back since. Remember DeMarco Murray? Come on.
Yeah, but also LaShawn McCoy hasn't really been all that since as well. Yeah, he definitely hasn't been the Philly version. So I don't even know if you can really consider that.
He's been better than every running back we've had. Like, the only reason why we've had a good running game is having 3 or 2 or more running backs. Missing LaShawn McCoy is crazy. But, that's another bracket, another time. I like that idea.
Oh, I don't know. I really want to see what the Raiders are going to do because, the Raiders, these guys, it's like they have like a checklist, and it's just like, I want the fastest player in the draft. I want the tallest player in the draft. I want the fattest player in the draft, and I want the guy that can lift the most in the draft. Doesn't matter position. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. No, I don't care. he could be a kicker. If he runs a 4.2, I want him in black and silver. That's what he needs to do. If he's a punter, but he can punt the ball over the stadium, I want him in black and silver. First round, lock him up, Hall of Fame type. That's it, to me. It's like there's no criteria. It's just that. Like I don't understand them. Like they, I don't know.
I would say like if he really were trying to defend himself, he could say, and that's a lot of money to give a player, and he wasn't ready to give a player that much money this short into his, career back with the Raiders. And this draft is completely stacked, and so he's going to get a top end prospect. So if Quentin Williams comes out to be something like what he's expected to be, and the Raiders actually get him, or Josh Allen turns the pan out, then he might look like a genius. But I highly doubt that's going to happen. He's going to do something crazy. It's going to be dope. I can't wait.
Just right before I move on, just not what scares me because I'm not a Raiders fan, but what makes me really anticipate wanting to see their pick is that the Raiders always have to be so extra. Like for them to even let out the information, like just wait for pick 4, it's going to be a surprise pick. Like what is that? What does that mean? What are you guys going to do? Like what's in store for the Raiders at 4? Like if we're sitting here and we're watching, like, all right, Kyler goes 1, okay, all right, Quentin goes 2, all right, cool. All right, maybe somebody trade back the Jets trade back or whatever. Raiders on the clock. And not even the full 10 minutes goes in. And it's like the pick is in. And everybody's just like, who's it going to be? And it's like the Raiders select N'Keal Harry. Like, and it's like, what are you doing? You pick a receiver at 4 and not even the other two. Like, you went to the 4th best right receiver draft at 4. It's like,
Come on, Joe. You know it's gonna be Hakeem Butler.
Well, it's really hard to find pass catchers in this league.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Who ran the fastest 40 at the combine? Because they're gonna be a receiver.
Paris Campbell, was it?
There you go. Paris Campbell, was it him?
He was the fastest receiver. I know that much.
If it's Paris Campbell, he's going for it tomorrow, guys. Let's get ready for it. You're gonna lock up the fastest receiver of the draft at 4. That's what it's got to be. Like,
oh, he looks like Tyreke Hill.
Oh my god! Because what else? What else could the surprise mean to you? Like, because
the fastest 40 time on the 2019 combine is Ole Miss safety Zedrick Woods, 4.29.
Oh my god!
We're changing the receiver.
You ever caught a pass before, Zedrick?
Oh my gosh! I mean, they do have to replace the safety, so that'll be pretty. I mean,
they're gonna make him a 60-minute man.
Playing both ways like back in high school.
We want you to play running back, wide receiver, safety, corner.
It doesn't like. There's nothing else. Nothing else would surprise me. Like the Raiders drafted Josh Allen. All right, cool. Like you got rid of Khalil Mack, you got Josh Allen. That's not a surprise. Now if you sit here and you draft like, I don't even know. Like I wouldn't even be mad if you got a lineman at 4. It'd be a little high, but like you have to replace O-line. You let go of Donald Payne. You let go of or you think you traded over Kelechi Osemele. Like so. Certain things will be understandable, but like, what surprised me? Like, you trade to 4 and get Kyler. I'd be a little surprised. Like, I don't know.
I'd be more surprised that Kyler lasted at 4 than they traded up to. That they traded up to him.
Here's the surprise: they go down from 4 all the way to like 15, but right before the clock is up, they're going to trade back up to 4.
But yeah, you know what? We reneged on the trade. We had second thoughts.
Wait, I didn't hang up the phone yet. I had my fingers crossed.
We We got cold feet like Anthony Barr.
Oh my god. Oh, I mean, speaking of these rumors, like this is like I said, like I love draft time, but like these last day or two before the draft are just like I cannot stand it because there's so many rumors coming out. Like I was watching NFL Network earlier, so they were talking about one person was saying first of all on Twitter, and I was reading between all like the beat writers and reporters and analysts and all that stuff. And so one person says the Cardinals do in fact have a deal in place with Josh Rosen with the Redskins, and I'm like, whoa, all right, like there's no breaking news, there's no nothing, and then literally like 2 minutes later on NFL Network, a lady's just like, the Redskins are not getting Josh Rosen, they're not interested in it. I'm like, all right, like what's going on? And then it's like the Redskins are interested in trying to trade up for 15-3 with the Jets, and they're targeting Dwayne Haskins, and I'm like, all right, you're taking Dwayne Haskins, cool. And then like 10 minutes later, somebody's like back on Twitter, like the Redskins are not interested in Dwayne Haskins. They're not going for Josh Rosen, but they are trying to trade up to 3 or 4, and they're going for Daniel Jones. I'm like, where did Daniel Jones come into this? Like, like,
Smoke screen.
no, I'm just sitting here getting hit like grenades left and right. I'm just like, ah! You're trying to sort between which is real and fake. It's just like
next thing you know, we're back in the stronghold on Division 2.
oh my god.
Oh man, it's like a game of capture the flag. It's like cover me.
It's terrible. I
Oh, man.
I closed Twitter. I was like, nah, I turned the TV off, taking a nap. That's it. That's the guy. I wasn't asleep for a half hour. I gotta think about things. I couldn't do it. Like, and I mean, my thing is like, the Cardinals sitting on Rosen is weird to me because if they sit here and they draft, like they have this guy at the peak of his value right now, everybody and their mother is still just like, they gotta go Rosen. They gotta go Rosen. They gotta go Kyler. They gotta go Kyler. Like, so if you're going Kyler, you gotta trade Rosen at the peak of his value to get the most out of him. Because the moment they draft Kyler, this guy goes from like a second round pick to like a 5th round pick worth value wise. Like I'm not giving you a 2nd round pick for Rosen anymore. I'm sorry, I'm not happy. It's not happening. Because now it's picking the 1st overall pick, you take the Kyler. You have to play Kyler. Like, especially with him and having the option of going to play baseball, you gotta play Kyler. You take this guy 1st overall and you don't play him, he's like, all right, well, I'm gonna go back over here and play baseball. Like, you gotta trade Rosen, in my opinion. But
I
Jay, what you got?
I think it's like really obvious that you got to move Rosen, especially because of the kind of player that Rosen is. He was very vocal about him thinking that, him getting drafted at number 10 was just like disrespectful in his book. He said there were 9 mistakes made before I was picked, So like him same locker room with Kyler is not going to be a good situation. So you definitely got to move one, and it has to be Rosen because if you like Rosen that much, you wouldn't pick Kyler. I really think that the smart thing for them to do would be to pick Quinn Williams, who I feel like is the best player in the draft, but
don't give him any ideas.
Okay.
Cruz, I mean, feel free to chime in. Cruz.
Nah, I gave my 2 cents. I'm really. I want the Jets to either trade down or select Quinn.
Yeah, are there any other rumors for you guys or no? Like, I mean, I haven't heard much.
Apparently, we've been fielding mad offers for number 3 pick, but ultimately, we're not doing shit till the first 2 selections are in.
Yep.
And honestly,
perfect position.
And honestly, I wouldn't want to trade down any other way. I want to see, because depending on who the first 2 picks are, man, price can go up or down.
It definitely would be good to know at least like what deals would be there in advance at 3. But yeah, for sure, let those first 2 picks come off the board. And honestly, I'm just skeptical as fuck I don't believe any of this shit, honestly. I feel like everybody's trying to outfuck each other, so they're just like releasing little stories and little like. First of all, anybody that take Daniel Jones top 5, jump off a bridge. Play with scratch and sniffs at the bottom of the pool. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going top 5 for Daniel Jones. I don't even want Daniel Jones at 17. But yeah, but if I'm the Cardinals, honestly, low key, and if I'm Cliff Kingsbury, maybe if I don't end up trading Rosen, maybe it turns out to be like a pretty thick competition. Maybe that pushes Rosen to the next level. But I don't know, man. Honestly, if they haven't traded him already, like you said, like after they draft him or after they draft Kyler, if that's who they go with, I don't see them getting much in return for Rosen.
It's like pulling a new car off the lot. You know, like I really think that it's all smoke screens. I really think that the Cardinals, more or less, they want people to think that there's a possibility that they will draft Kyler, and that is the best way for them to skyrocket the price up as much as possible. It's like, we really like this guy. This guy might be the guy, but you know what? For your 3 first-round picks and your 2 seconds, I'll part ways with him. You know, it's all just games being played when it comes to these quarterbacks, because you've heard Dwayne Haskins like drop down all of the boards. You heard Dwayne Haskins go to the top. Daniel Jones and Drew Lock are going in the first. You know, like there's so much going on, and you know,
Not for sure.
Not everybody is for everybody.
I also think that like there's like a little like mind game going on, because had they actually traded Josh Rosen, now you're committed to picking Kyler at 1 because you need a starting quarterback. So I think there could be a little mind game, because if they go Bosa at 1, it's like they kind of have been telling us all along that they were going to do this, because if you were so hell bent on Kyler, why are you not trading this kid that you guys drafted last year while his stock is high? So it's definitely, I think tomorrow night is going to reveal a lot about a lot of teams and all these smoke screens, all these bullshit stories that have been coming out. It's going to really reveal what everybody's true intention was this entire time.
As a Jets fan, I can only hope that Kyler doesn't go number 1, because that bodes well for our trade down. And that means a lot more teams inside that top 10, top 15 area will want to trade up as well. Like, such as the Raiders might want to move up a spot. Maybe the Giants then want to move up to 3.
I'm telling you right now, if Kyler doesn't go 1, I am 1,000% for trading up for Kyler. That's the only quarterback in this draft class that I want, that I genuinely want. I'll take a quarterback later on, but who do I want? Kyler. I just thought it's inevitable. He's going number 1 to Arizona. But if he doesn't, get ready. I want them to make that call to y'all, honestly.
I mean, but would you what is necessary to get from 6 to 1?
No, he's not going 1. If he's saying if he doesn't go number 1, like if they go Bosa, then he will trade up.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, realistically, we would probably switch 6 and 3. If there was a way we could keep 17, that would be lit. But if we could give y'all like a second and a third, I don't know. I'd probably do that.
See, here's the thing. If Kyler doesn't go number 1 and he makes it to 3, guess what? Prices just went up, my man. Supply and demand. Everybody wants Kyler in the draft.
Everybody that thought that they
so
they have
you know,
a shot.
So you're for sure gonna have to give up 6 and 17 and maybe either a second and a third this year or next year to move up. Because I promise you, there's other teams that want Kyler and that will be willing to give that up to move up ahead of y'all.
Oh man, like this reminds me of the Niners deal that happened not too long ago, when they moved down, so that I think the Bears moved up 1 spot, right?
Trubisky.
Yeah, for Trubisky.
Fleeced them
so much for 1 spot, and like I don't think that they particularly
Niners
wanted to pick. They were never going to pick Trubisky. No. They were going to pick the guy that they picked the spot after. But it's the fact that they had so many other offers for, you know, so now they're sitting here telling the Bears, like, yeah, well, if you want this pick, I got a bunch of other people that's giving us all of this stuff for this pick. So, you know, they just brought up the price so that they could still pick the same player they were going to pick at that spot and just drop that one.
If I'm head on the phone and the Giants come, hey, listen, we'll give you number 6 and a second and a third, be like, yo, I would love to, but so and so is about to give me 3 first-round picks in a second. But listen, hey, if you give me 6 and 17 and like one of your second or third, I'll make the deal with you.
Uh, I mean, that's how you play the game, whether it's true or not. You gotta do that. Definitely how you play the game. But I mean, if my thing is, we were talking about this earlier. Like, so many teams are talking about now trading up. I mean, you saw. I don't know if you guys got that earlier notification that said I think there was a Bills and the Detroit Lions are both trying to trade down now.
Yeah.
But it's like to me now. I know you got who is it? You got the Redskins. The Redskins are one trying to trade up, and there's another couple teams I know want to also trade up. And then people are talking about maybe like the Packers are like a dark horse to get a quarterback too because
No.
they're Aaron's.
Who?
I said the Packers. I believe the Packers have 2 first-round picks, and they were talking about their possible dark horse because all they have is Aaron Rodgers is like 34, 35, and then behind him they only have Sean Kaiser and then somebody else, but I forget who it is. So they were saying they're a possible dark horse too.
And somebody, or I actually saw a report out there saying that like the Steelers might try and trade up for a linebacker.
That's typical Steelers.
No, that's a Steelers move right there.
That's the Steelers move. We're moving up for anybody. It's a linebacker, maybe a corner, but definitely a linebacker. It's like every year their first round pick has to be a linebacker. Or like I think I've seen them take a guard like once. I think it was the David the Castro year. Took a guard. Other than that, who's it been like? Shazier, Jarvis, who's the other linebacker? Jarvis Jenkins or whatever his name is.
From Georgia? No, I don't think they got him. But they got Bud Dupree from Kentucky.
Yeah, but there was a linebacker from Georgia that was like really good, but he had spinal stenosis. I think it was Jordan something, Jarvis something. I forgot his name.
Oh, I know who you're talking. Jarvis. Damn, I forget his last name, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah. It was something with it. I thought it was something with a J also, but yeah.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
And they got TJ Watt too.
Yeah, I wanted to trade back into the first round to get TJ Watt that year.
Was it Jarvis Jones?
I wanted TJ Watt too.
Yeah, it was Jarvis Jones.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie. That year I wanted us to trade back. I wanted us to trade to get TJ Watt too. He just looked good coming out of college, and he's playing well for them. I actually read something before that said when Jerry Reese was still our manager, he wanted to trade up to get Mahomes. He tried to trade up to get Patrick Mahomes, but the asking price was way too high. The year we took Evan Ingram, he wanted to trade up, I believe. What Mahomes go? 10, 15, something like that, I believe. It was like he wanted to trade up to get Mahomes, but the asking price was like astronomical. I forgot who ended up. I forgot what's it called, what the final price was, but he said the stuff they were asking was like multiple first round picks and just like multiple second round picks and all that stuff. So he was like, there was no way he was doing it. But I mean, around draft time, that's all you'll get. All you get, all these crazy things, all these rumors, all these different types of trades. I mean, even today we were talking about multiple teams trying to trade into the top 5 to grab quarterbacks now. Of course, now it's coming out. So I mean, like I said before, I was like, hey, I welcome all these other teams to come in and take quarterbacks. Like somebody wants to trade with you guys, the Jets, and take Haskins or whatever. Somebody wants to trade to 2 or 4 or 5 with the Bucks and take Daniel Jones. Go right ahead, take them. Because the more of those quarterbacks that are taken in those first 5 picks, one of those defenders is going to fall to 6. And so you have Kyler goes 1, and then you take Quentin goes 2. Somebody trades with the Jets and take the quarterback at 3, and then somebody else comes in at 4 with the Niners or with the Raiders and to another quarterback.
I think if Kyler goes 1, Bosa's going to the Niners.
I think Bosa's going to the Niners regardless of what happens. That's one link that has like been consistent through all season. They're in love with him, and he fits their needs. So
I think he fits to a point, but I mean, to me, I feel like you've already invested so much because you put. Because again, you traded for it and you locked up D Ford long term. Plus, you got Solomon Thomas just like 2 years ago. That was like he was like your third pick overall pick in the draft just 2 years ago. So between them two and the TD tackles they drafted in the first round 2 years before, like they have all these first round picks invested in their team. So to me, it's like you trade Bosa, it's like or you draft Bosa, it's like now you're starting Bosa. It's got to be over Solomon Thomas. Like that has to be who you're not benching D Ford play Nick Bosa unless you sit up here and you're going to move D Ford to a strictly outside backup position and have Bosa as your down 3-4 end. But Shanahan's already come out and said he plans to play what's his name, play D4 with his hand in the dirt. So now it's like unless you're going to play Bosa your hand in the dirt and you're playing Ford behind him or Ford on Solomon's side as an outside backup that can sometimes put his hand in the dirt, then I don't see much of a point in really. I mean, can't go wrong. Bosa's a stud player.
Yeah, but he's also saying the D4 part because he's not for sure guaranteed that like Bosa's gonna fall to him. If you get a player like Bosa, D4 is not playing in the dirt. D4 is gonna play outside linebacker or stand up linebacker. Like, and the thing is with their defensive line, a lot of like almost all their defensive line could play inside and outside, like both. Their whole line can play inside and outside.
I think they're gonna take Quinnen. Honestly, I think I said that like episode 1 or something like that. Like I just have this idea they're gonna take Quinnen. I think they're trying to move on from DeForest Buckner, and I think everybody's saying Quinnen's the best player in the draft. So I don't think anybody would be surprised if they took Quinnen at 2.
I mean, yeah, I could see them going Quentin before I could just see Bosa. Honestly, I mean,
but
again,
the
it's a
thing is, I don't see them going anything aside from those two. I don't really see the Niners as particularly one that's going to drop back or anything like that. If anybody is going to stay in the top three, I think it'll be the Niners.
oh well, shoot. Put it like this: what if Kyler doesn't go one, and a team comes calling the Niners at 2 and offers the Kings a ransom? Do you think you're gonna stay there?
Depends on who the team is. Because if the team is somebody like the Giants and you still have the shot at one of these top tier players dropping down to you, but are you sure that you want to miss out on a player like Quentin Williams and drop down to maybe the top 10, maybe to 15 and pick up a bunch of picks? It's always the value question, but I don't know. Like we really never know. It's always a toss up. The draft is the best time of the year. But
Oh yeah. I mean, there's there's so many rumors like just like going around. I mean, I'm not. I mean, honestly, again, you gotta just sort through what's real, what's fake. I'm at the point where like I, I oh, God, I know tonight. I know tonight. Like I'm gonna be just mock drafts and just information just like racing in my head the whole night. Tomorrow at work, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm just trying to get through work tomorrow. Like nothing's gonna bother me at work tomorrow because I know I'm going to my same spot I always go to, sit at my table, have the mock draft directly in front of me, have a couple beers, have my wings, and just at this point, it's whatever happens, regardless of what happens. Like we can't control it. We can't control it. So it's like you just have to. I mean, you just gotta roll with it. Now,
so
like
so I got a question. I got a question for
I might have an answer.
for everyone here. I'm going to answer it after you guys do. But
We might have an answer.
what is your like perfect scenario for the draft? What, at least for the first round, 6 and 17 for the Giants and 3 for the Jets. What is your
Oh,
perfect scenario?
I said this from day one. My 6 and 17. At 6, I'm going. I want Devin White. At 17, I want to circle back and get Cleveland Farrell. That's my 6 and 17. That's perfect for me. Like, I would love to have Allen. I'd love to have all those other people, but the Giants. I was saying to people like on Twitter and everything because I love to just be that guy and just cause trouble on Twitter. It's like the funniest thing in the world. You get people to argue with you, and then they're like, you know what, you kind of know what you're talking about. They follow you. I'm like, oh, by the way, check out Nosebleed Section
Like,
all the time.
oh, who did I just get ripped by?
Exactly. But like I do like I tell people all the time, people are just like, oh my gosh, the Giants, why would you take an inside backer, blah blah and that. I'm like, listen, man, the Giants haven't had a real impact inside backer since like Antonio Pierce. Like and that was like 2009, 2010, something like that. I can't remember the time, but like people have been so spoiled. Not even spoiled. It's not even to be spoiled because the linebackers suck. But it's like people are just so used to mediocrity and just terrible players that they don't remember like it's okay to have good linebackers. It's okay. Like and in a 4-3, you didn't need it as much because on a 4-3 defense you relied more on your pass rush and your D line to get to the quarterback and your linebackers filled gaps. They filled gaps and make tackles, whatever. In a 3-4 system, you need linebackers that can cover tight ends, cover slot receivers, cover running backs, all that stuff. Devin White is that guy. Cover receivers, can cover linebackers, can cover receivers, can cover tight ends, cover running backs. So it's okay to have somebody that can do that. Like it's okay to have to want to upgrade that position. Like I was talking to one guy, and he was like, "Why would you take an inside backer at 6, blah blah?" And I literally was like, "Okay, I'll take Devin White, and you continue to have Unai Unga, you continue to have Tay Davis, like you continue to have these people." And he was like, "Who's Tay Davis?" I was like, "Exactly, because he was starting inside backer for us last year. So you keep him, you keep Unai Unga, who's had one season with us and was out of the league. Like you keep those people. I'll keep my game changer in Devin White. And when we can finally cover tight ends and receivers and running backs, there's a boo. You know this, Dre. You know this too because we cannot cover the Eagles tight ends, Zach Ertz and Brent Phillip for the past 12 years. Jason Witten has made us his own, his slave for this whole time in the NFL. So when
Shit,
you sit up
Brent
here
Celek
and
did his thing against y'all for a long time.
yes, your receivers, they're exposed. Why? Because we don't have linebackers that can cover. So again, they can have all these all these undrafted free agents that the Giants love to take and just make them starting backers in the NFL. And I will take Devin White, who deserves to be a top 6 player because he's worth that, and he's not. Devin White's not sitting next to me as an undrafted linebacker that we can be picked up and start by the Giants. Like I'll take Devin White. You continue to be that guy. You have your undrafted players. I'll have Devin White, and I'll be great. And at 17, Cleveland Farrell just pass rush. He never had enough pass rushers. So that's my dream. That's my dream situation.
All right, Abu, just to continue with the Giants real quick.
Oh yeah, no, I mean Joe hit that on the head. That's literally my, like he said, like, and okay, so when it comes to like interior linebackers, we have like B.J. Goodson and we have Alec Ogletree, like two inconsistencies. Alec Ogletree can play the pass. He had like 5 picks last season, but he's not a run stopping linebacker. Devin White, like Joe said, at 6, 17, Clelin Ferrell, that would be great if all of like the top caliber defensive players that we've been scouting are off the board. And if you really want to take a quarterback, maybe if like Will Greer is available. If not, we can just address that in a later round. But definitely this whole draft, I'm super content with just stocking up on defense and O-line. Let's go 2-14 next year and have our pick of any quarterback we want.
I love the optimism. All right, what about you, Chris?
My perfect scenario, me personally, I would like to trade down but I don't want to trade down out of the top 10. But if we stay at home at 3, I would prefer to get Quinnen Williams. I honestly think that that's the best player in the draft, and he's out of the University of Alabama, so it'd be nice to have one of them guys on the Jets. It's my team, both teams. I mean, dude, the kid's 21, and he dominated last year. This man dominated anybody they put in front of him. Where else do you find? Where else do you find a 300-pound beast that's got speed and agility like that?
Yeah.
Dre, what's your perfect scenario?
Well, I hate the 25th pick because I just feel like the value right there is it's either going to be like I really feel like we should either trade up or trade down. Preferably, I would say trade up, and if Devin Bush is somewhere available at maybe round 16, possibly but yeah, that's about it. Like I like a lot of the players in the draft, but if I had to pick a specific position and a specific player, I'd go linebacker and pick Devin Bush. Yeah, we could just go Jonathan Abrams. So.
Yeah, I thought the NFL Network was doing something about that, and they actually mocked him to y'all too.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the thing. Every mock draft is going to say something about the Eagles secondary, or for the most part, a lot of mock drafts have us going running back in the first round. That hasn't happened since the '80s, and I mean, we haven't even gone running back in anything earlier than a fourth since Howie Roseman became the GM. So. And he's really bad at drafting running backs. I really want a running back in the second. David Montgomery, that's my guy. That's the number one running back on my book. He's just his balance is change of direction is just elite. But and we need some offensive line help. And having 3 picks in the first 2 rounds, it should help. But there's a million different ways to go. Yeah. I just hope they do something good. That's it. That's all you can hope.
I hear you. I mean, to me, like I said before, 6, I would love Devin White. 17, I would love Clelin Ferrell. If you could flip it, and I was thinking before, even if Devin White was gone, I'd probably want to pick a pass rusher or somebody at 6, and then maybe flip to a linebacker like a Devin Bush at 17. Like if we went edge at 6 and Bush at 17,
like Rashawn Gary.
Yeah, maybe
Josh Allen if he drops.
Oh, Josh Allen, yeah, definitely. But if it was Rashawn Gary, to me it would be funny to have Rashawn Gary, then go back at 17 and pick up Devin Bush, so you'd have Michigan teammates, and then you'd have Jabril Peppers already on the Giants, so you'd have all 3 levels. You have a Michigan player there. It would just be kind of an interesting dynamic to me.
You would make me dislike Michigan now. I don't even watch a lot of college football. I just like a lot of Michigan players, and yeah. Next thing you know, you guys trade for Miles Jack, and I'm just like, Nick.
Miles Jack went to UCLA. What are you doing?
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. See, I told you I don't watch a lot of college football.
Why Miles Jack? I don't know, man.
There was some Michigan kid that I liked who wasn't Miles Jack.
Oh, God.
Did you just say Miles Jack was the Michigan kid you liked?
Yeah.
I said no. I said there was some Michigan kid I liked that's not named Miles Jack.
All right, I'm about to say, Dre, you're about to kill our credibility.
Hey, I already did that, bro. Hey, we still got something to table. You know, if we got enough time, because I got time.
We don't have time for that.
Yeah, I thought
We
so.
don't have time for
I thought so.
This
Yeah.
guy runs.
Kuz and Dre have been in a very long, ongoing debate.
It should
Hey, we're not getting into it. We're not getting into it.
We're
it
not
shouldn't
doing
be a
this
debate.
show.
I don't think it's
We're
a
not
debate
doing this
anymore. I
show.
think it was a misunderstanding that turned into a debate, and that we were debating two totally different things. But
We're not.
okay.
We
This is a kid. This is a kid show. All right.
This is
Fuck
thank
that.
you. No. Guys,
You're gonna have to pull out all of the SpongeBob curse words. Yo, get out of here.
Yeah.
oh, okay. It's getting to be about that time.
Fuck my ooga.
It's getting to be about that time. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. I can't wait. Like I said, the only thing, and trust me, you guys are gonna know, the only thing that will kill me tomorrow is if the Giants take Daniel Jones at 6. That's the only thing that's going to hurt my soul. I'm telling you now.
What if they take Haskins? Is you
I'd
just
be more okay with Haskins than Daniel Jones at 6. Like
I think Daniel Jones in the top 15 is a reach.
it's a reach.
It's a serious reach in the top
I'm
15.
sure.
Yes.
I'm
Like,
sure. I feel like Dwayne Haskins in the top 10 is just because he's like another quarterback available.
Nah, man, that kid is like he's a special talent. That kid is a
He
sponge.
could be good.
He's got a rocket front arm and he's deadly accurate with it.
like
I feel you.
He
I just have my doubts. I've been wrong before, and I'll openly
I get like I'm very big on the whole like Ohio State's like quarterbacks never make it in the NFL, but Ohio State's never had a quarterback like Dwayne Haskins. Like I'm telling you, he's not like any of the OSU quarterbacks that have come out of the draft.
Yeah, I
I,
have about Ohio State quarterback.
I'm just gonna tell you one thing, Kuz.
Cardale Jones.
They said that about Terrell Pryor. They said that about Byron. What's his name? Who's the dude that switched to the wide receiver?
Braxton Miller.
Braxton Miller. They said that about Cardale Jones. They said about all these Ohio State quarterbacks. Maybe this dude is different, but if he's not, it falls right up to par with what Ohio State produces at quarterback.
I think this
I
one's
think
different.
I think it's
I
different.
didn't I didn't really believe the hype behind Cardale Jones. I believe the hype behind Cardale Jones' arms, but like he's not very accurate. He's not very smart. Like that's why he's still. I'm just being real. I'm just being real. Like I mean, he's a good kid, but like he's not like a sponge like this kid is. Like Cardale Jones got drafted and he thought he was just gonna go in there and win it. Like they were gonna hand him the job, and they didn't hand him the job, and he's like, oh, I came to the NFL to play football. I didn't come to the NFL to play on the bench. Like you know what I mean? One of those like the tweet he sent out while he's playing at Ohio State. He was like, oh. Came to college to play football. We didn't come to college to play school. this guy really tweeted that. He really tweeted that, and that's where I realized I'm like, yo, he's not that smart.
I don't know, that'd be my main thing. Like, if the Giants, if we can go defense at 6, offensive line at 17, we could double up on defense, whatever. Like, I'll be like, all right, whatever. This is we take a tackle at 17, cool. We're finishing the O line. Take a defender at 6, cool. We're working on the defense. I don't care if it gets back to like pick 30 or like pick 30, like I said, like in my mock, like, or I brought it before, like if it's the Patriots are at pick 32, we have pick 37. It's only 5 picks after the next in the second round. The Patriots always want to stockpile picks. I wouldn't care if we traded back from 37 to 32 with them because the value's going to be less anyway. If we did that, I don't care if Daniel Jones is still there at 32, I'd be okay with it. If Will Greer's there at 32, I would take it. But at 6 or 17, I don't want to touch Daniel Jones. That to me, like 6, definite reach. 17, still kind of a reach.
70 is more reasonable, but it's still kind of a reach. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's still kind of a reach. But 6, like you're gonna tell me if Gettleman looks if we what we were talking about before happens, and you got the Redskins trading for Haskins, and you're sitting here at 6, and you have, let's say, Josh Allen and Devin White on the board at 6, and you draft Daniel Jones over one of those two, I don't care wherever I am, I'm getting up and leaving that place. Like I could be at home, I'm getting up and leaving. I could be at a bar, I'm getting up and leaving, and I will call out tomorrow because I'm walking to East Rutherford because somebody's gotta die. Like,
I really
relax,
feel,
Joe. Relax.
no,
I really feel
I can't get
like
behind you on
this
that.
is going to
fine, but
make us blow up. I feel like this is going to get us so many followers
This is a
because you're going
family
to draft
show.
Daniel Jones at 6.
Like, family show, Joe. You can't be threatening people on the show.
it's no longer a family show. I've changed it. It's now rated R in the corner. It's over.
Oh,
He
You have
ruined
a
our-
big
he
ass
ruined our
guy
family.
Gettleman son.
If we draft Daniel Jones at 6, you're getting Josh Jacobs, so it don't matter. You're gonna get your running back. That's all.
oh.
You have the Eagles.
Nice.
Like that's the thing, because I don't even want him in the first. Like even if we get Josh Jacobs, it's like okay, but not in the first. Like
Well, that's
like,
why you
yo,
have to pick him. He's going in the first, I think.
and that's cool with me. I take him in the first. Give me David Montgomery in the second. Good. But
I hope you'll
like
get
I
him.
really think that like our best bet is to trade back into the second. I think last year that worked well for us, picking Dallas Goedert, especially having that we didn't have a second round pick. This year we got 2 second round picks and no third round pick. So trading back in the draft could give us a lot of value.
You know what you guys should do? You guys should go back in the second round. You should draft Ryan Finley because he would be your Nick Foles. He would step in, and when Wentz goes down, when Wentz goes down,
Wow,
Ryan
when Wentz goes
Finley
down.
step in. Yo, my man's back.
At this-
You
at
hope
this-
Eli goes down, all right?
At
You
this
guys
point-
hope that Eli wasn't healthy at some point.
I will neither
not consistently,
confirm
though.
nor deny that. I will neither confirm or deny that. But Carson Wentz is Glass Joe. He is
Glass
good.
Joe. Glass
If
Joe.
if he gets hurt again, he is Sam Bradford 2.0.
Oh, okay.
Oh my
He's
God, Joe! Don't
it's-
start
it's-
that. You
it's
know
Sam-
how Drake gets when you mention the mobile
Sam
sound.
Bradford has ever thrown more than 21 touchdowns.
That's not the point. The point is he gets hurt.
The only difference that will be between Carson Wentz and Sam Bradford is that Sam Bradford still got paid after 2 ACL injuries.
And
And
a
I mean
Super Bowl
like
ring,
the bag.
and a Super Bowl ring and MVP vote.
Oh, you mean that he didn't play in? You mean that he didn't play in?
He still got a
Okay.
ring though.
right.
He still got a ring. He got 11 of those wins. He gets a ring.
I'm
Like,
telling
come
you.
on.
Let Carson Wentz get you 11 wins, and then when he goes down, Ryan Finley steps in and leads you guys to Super Bowl. You won't win it. You're not getting another ring, but he will lead you to an appearance. Telling
Ryan Finley.
Yeah, Ryan Finley will lead you to a Super Bowl appearance.
You know what? You know what? It's all good. It's all good. Talk shit. When my kid gets the fucking MVP this year because he has like the safest wide receiver core in the league.
Listen, hold on. Before you get all hype on the MVP talk, yo, now that Pat Mahomes is starting, your boy ain't never win an MVP.
Pat Mahomes got to do it back-to-back years. Like dude did his thing, and shout out to him. No hating on him. He has to do it back-to-back years. Like 50
You have to do it
touchdowns,
1 year to talk shit. You have to do it at least once.
None of this woulda, coulda, shoulda been. Like it didn't happen. Like, down the drain.
What didn't happen?
Carson Wentz didn't win
MVP.
Carson Wentz didn't win a Super Bowl.
He's still never played a playoff
Never
game.
He still hasn't. No,
He hasn't finished the season since his rookie year.
no, he hasn't. No.
You know, like
No, we're not debating what he has actually done. because like it's already out there. The facts are out there.
No, but
Did
here's
he
the
get
thing.
MVP votes? Yes.
Here's
Did
the thing.
he did he win 11 games and throw 33 touchdowns and put us in a first round bye for the Super Bowl that we eventually won? Yes, he did. So I mean, yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, here's the thing, bro. Like, so, like the way history has been working for you, yo, your man's not gonna make it past week 13.
Hey.
So, like I said, go get Ryan Finley.
Yo, chill, Joe. He's got Nate the Great, man. Relax.
No,
Relax.
You guys are
21
sleeping.
straight. That's my
Don't
nephew.
don't be dogging out Nate the Great.
You guys are sleeping. Shit.
I must
You might sign Mark Sanchez back.
I pay him, man.
Hey, well, you know what? Mark Sanchez brought us to back-to-back AFC championships. So.
Oh. How many rings did he get through those?
Don't worry. Well, I'm not worried about it. He brought me joy for those 2 years, okay? And we ain't been back to the playoffs.
But you won't let me enjoy my 13 games a season. Look at fuck you.
Nah, you're not allowed to have it. You're an Eagles.
No, fuck that. Fuck that. That's just because you know what? Listen, guys, you know what it is? It's the simple fact the Jets have never beat the Eagles ever, and that is why he hates me.
Whoa, relax. Where'd you get your stats from?
Look it up. When the Jets beat the Eagles. Look it up.
So,
Look it up. Name one time in history.
so Marshawn Lynch retired today, guys.
What? Oh damn! This got mighty quiet.
So the draft.
Yes. So the draft is next time.
Yo.
Oh man!
Well,
All right.
see y'all this season. Oh, my man left. He just leaves. Oh.
Hello, Dre. Dre. All right. Well, I don't know what's going on here.
I'll be
What are we
right back.
doing?
I'll be right back. Don't worry about it.
We're ending the show, guys. You can't. This is unprofessional. Oh my god, guys, we gotta stop. We're gonna start off.
Fly.
Yeah, right. You got me fucked up.
You touch that 1, 2, 3.
You
Fellas.
gotta stop singing that song. It's like we don't want to hear that. Like,
Fellas, I'm sorry. I do have to go though.
Oh yeah, really quick before we do close up, we're gonna have something going on for the draft tomorrow night. Follow us on all of our social media. Follow us on Instagram, on Facebook. We're gonna be going live for the draft. So yeah, definitely tune in. If you don't have a place to tune in to us on Facebook for sure.
real quick before we go, hey, you guys have any bold predictions for tomorrow or anything that you guys would like to see? Booze, anything?
I don't really have anything crazy that I think is gonna. Honestly, like I just pray to God the Giants don't fuck me. That's really what it comes down to. Just please, God, just don't fuck me. Just let me have like this off season. We can go 2-14 next year, and then let's just reload. That's all I care about.
All right, Coos.
Bold predictions.
Coos, 5 seconds.
I'm done. I'm like I said, I really want the Jets to draft Quentin Williams. Hopefully we could either trade down or maybe trade into the second round. Either way, I think we need to get into the second round. That's a need. How we get there, I don't know. We just need to get there.
Dre, you have any bold predictions or things you're looking forward to seeing tomorrow?
Well, yeah, my bold prediction is that once again the Eagles will not have a day one draft pick, and I'm just interested to see what the trade ups are going to be because over the past couple years the trade ups for quarterbacks have been ridiculous. You know, for Mitch Trubisky to trade up, the trade up for Deshaun Watson and Pat Mahomes is just like. That's like the most fun part of the draft. So, and just hoping that everybody in my division fucks up. That's really it. But.
All right.
What? Yes, I hope you fuck up both picks. I'm sorry, guys.
Hey,
Like, I hope
so
you succeed in your personal and professional endeavors. I'd want the Giants to fail.
so
I
as
really
if
liked episode 3, guys. Honestly, if we're being honest.
I second that. So listen,
I'm back. Yeah.
as a Jets fan sitting at 3, if we trade down, I'm gonna take a quote from one of my favorite movies, Jerry Maguire. Show me the money.
All right. Real quick. The thing I'm looking forward most to seeing is going back to what I said about the Raiders situation. I want to see Mike Mayock. I want to see what this genius draft guru guy finally does when he puts together his own draft. Because for years, I've been watching on NFL Network, and every time there's a pick, he's just like, well, I don't understand why they would do that. You have this guy here. I had him ranked as this, and that on my board. And I think, all right, cool. We're going to see your board this year. We're going to see where your mind's at. We're going to see all these small school prospects that you never talked about or people that don't draft whatever. We're going to see it. We're going to see if you continue to be, once you put that Raiders hat on, you lose your whole IQ. We're going to see if that happens or if Mike Mayock's going to break the mold and Mike Mayock's going to come out with some amazing draft for the Raiders. We're going to see. That's what I'm most interested in because there's so many people that he's put me on the Senior Bowl. He's put me on the East-West Shrine game. He's put me on so many things as far as finding out and figuring out all these different people that I would never hear about. So I definitely want to see what he's going to bring out for this draft. That's why I'm most fortunate.
Watch the Raiders take DK Metcalf at number 4. That's gonna be a surprise.
Oh my god!
He looks just like Calvin Jackson.
Oh my god! No, it looks like Darius Hayward Banks when he looks like. That's what he looks like. Oh my goodness!
I called him fucking Dez. I see.
Oh, that would surprise me. I'm not gonna lie to you. That was.
Hey, Joe.
So
I just. Joe, I just have a question, just because I personally want to. Who do you have as your top wide receiver in this draft?
Honestly, it was Metcalf, but I don't like just going off of 4.3 speed and amazing jumping ability. So I honestly had AJ Brown ahead of him. I had Brown at 1, and then I had N'Keal Harry at 2 because I like N'Keal Harry a lot. I don't think he's not a day 1 pick to me. I think he could be a really solid number 2 receiver. I think he's a really good hand. I think what separates him, he's a great route runner. That's the thing about Metcalf to me. He's just like people were saying. Like I saw this guy Metcalf being mocked to the Ravens, and everybody's just like, "Well, there's Brashard Perriman 2.0." I'm like,
I don't see that comparison.
Like just he's not a route runner. He's just speed. He's just you throw him a fade route and tell him to go get it. But I don't know.
All right, so we got the same top 2. It gets a little murky after that.
Yeah, I was going to say I like N'Keal Harry as the best all around wide receiver in this draft.
I disagree.
I mean, I understand. I don't think it's like a big gaping difference between any of the top 3 or so. I think that they all different in certain ways. N'Keal is more all around. DK is more like the athletic freak. I think it's gonna be good, man. I like Paris Campbell as well, but even though he's just a speed guy, really. But I think that could be used well in this day and age.
All right, Kuz, do you have that's your top 2 also?
Yeah, I have AJ Brown as my unanimous number 1, and N'Keal Harry is my number 2. After that, I'd probably go DK and then Paris Campbell.
Yeah, our top 4 is the same. Yeah. AJ
And
Brown,
then, and
Harry,
then,
probably
and
DK.
then, and then my 5 is Terry McLaurin.
My five is probably Debo Samuel. I really like Debo.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I forgot about him. He's nice. I
Yeah.
might put him up there. My 5 as well.
we're,
I
we're in
can't.
pretty much agreements right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, I like Debo.
How you feel about Antonio's cousin,
What's that?
Hollywood, the Marquise Brown?
Oh,
Damn,
I
I
mean,
like him.
I like him, but I think
He's not a number 1 receiver. I think he's more of like a number 2 or a slot receiver.
he just reminds me of a lot of these other Oklahoma receivers that keep coming out, like with D.D. Westbrook. He's fast as crap, but man, I think right now I think he's like 5'10", 166 pounds. Like he's gonna take one hit in the NFL, he's gonna be hurt. They're gonna break his chest.
He go,
166 is not gonna cut it.
he gonna look like Brandon Cooks in the Super Bowl. He needs some milk.
I don't know. Like I like him. I like a lot of these other big body receivers too. You know, I like Hakeem Butler in the later rounds maybe. I like Kelvin Harmon. There's Miles Boykin from Notre Dame. I like he's pretty solid too. And a lot of the Giant beat writers have him mocked us in like the third round. Like every mock draft I have, it could be first 2 rounds. It could be D linemen, linebackers, everything else. Every Giants beat writer has us getting Miles Boykin round. He's a big body receiver. He's 6'4".
He
But
had a lot of the Jets mock draft have us either getting Andy Isabella or Miles Boykin in the later
I like
rounds.
Isabella. I
Yeah,
really like
that
Isabella.
dude's a baller. I fuck with
Yeah.
Isabella heavy.
In the Senior Bowl, he was showing out in the Senior Bowl. Definitely was. I didn't know about him until the Senior Bowl.
He's just got this quick twitch to him when he's like in his routes and is like once he touches the ball, man, he's gone.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then, I mean, some people. I'm hearing a lot of deferring opinions on Riley Ridley, Calvin Ridley's brother. Hearing a lot of differing opinions. So a lot of things I'm hearing, like people really
He's
like him.
he's
You know,
he's a lot more raw than Calvin was coming out of college. They're a lot of people have been saying he should have stayed in college for one more year and really refined his craft and honed in on it. But I mean, I don't think he's gonna be like ready to play, but he'll be serviceable to play when he first comes in.
I mean, the Georgia, they got a lot of they got I think 3 receivers coming out this year too. At least 3 that I know of, because I know they got him coming out. Then they got Nicole Hardman coming out, and then they have Terry Godwin. People are saying that Terry Godwin's going to be a sleeper because they said he's strictly a slot. They said though he's like 5'10", really slender frame. But they're saying that he's actually a really good sleeper to be a slot receiver. But it's also like Ole Miss. Everybody's talking about AJ Brown and DK, but then everybody's saying that DeMarcus Lodge might be like might be the best receiver out of the 3 of them when it's all said and done. And he's the best route runner of the 3 of them. And a lot of people have him mocked to the Giants in like the 6th or 7th round.
He's out of Ole Miss.
Yeah, the 3rd receiver.
He kind of reminds me of Damari Stringfellow, honestly.
I haven't seen much of him. I haven't seen a lot of him. Like I didn't really pay attention on many Ole Miss games, admittedly, honestly, this year. But like, I didn't hear too much about him. I felt like he reminded me of maybe I saw him a little bit. I felt like he reminded me kind of Cody Core. I mean, Cody Core is on the Bengals right now, so I mean, he's doing decent. I know what's his name went down. And what's this wrong? This guy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I know AJ Green went down. I know Tyler Boyd stepped up, and I know Cody Core actually stepped up a while too. But I don't know, man. I feel like we just go on. I feel like we go on and on about prospects. There's people that I want to see. People that I want to see like pretty much every position.
There's one guy that I didn't hear much about while we're looking up a lot of these prospects, and I just heard some like crazy reviews and first round grades on him. It's a cornerback named Amani Oruwariye, I believe his last name is.
Yeah.
Like I just really want to see where he goes, who he falls to, and if this guy is right in his assessment. Because I mean, he was one of the few people that had a first round draft grade on Eddie Jackson, and you didn't really see that much, and the guy was all pro, so you know he might know what he's talking about. So it got me interested.
Also, actually, I do have a hot take. I remember early on he was ranked really high, and as of late, his position has kind of fell. I think T.J. Hawkinson is actually going to go a lot higher than a lot of people think. I remember when one of like the earliest mock drafts came out, he was like a projected top 10 pick, and then I seen on a couple people's lists they had Irv Smith and Noah Fant over him. I don't know how accurate that is, but I definitely think T.J. Hawkinson's going to go a lot earlier than a lot of people think.
On the NFL Network, they had T.J. Hawkinson going to the Jags in the top 10 as the first tight end off the board.
They had him one of the first picks one of the first mocks I seen had him going as high as like 7 or 8. I forget to who, but then now as of late,
7.
Huh?
Yeah, the Jags are at 7.
Jags are at 7. Yeah. That's where they had him going.
Yeah, I think that
really makes sense.
But then, but I've seen a lot of people's mocks. They have Irv Smith and Noah Fant graded higher. But I think TJ, I think he's going to surprise a lot of people with how high he goes.
To me, the top tight end in this draft is Irv Smith, and I don't say this just because he went to Alabama. I'm saying this because he's the most. He's legitimately the most complete tight end in the draft. He can block, he can run routes, and he can catch the ball. He's a very good blocker.
But do you think that he has the upside that T.J. Hawkinson or Noah Fant have? Because I feel like Noah Fant, as his receiving ability is such a threat.
Upside, I don't know. I'm talking about the best, right now, the best overall tight end.
I mean,
is what I'm saying.
But it comes down to like
he's the most complete tight end.
Best prospect, huh?
He's the most complete tight end in the draft, is what I'm saying. And that's why I have him rated the highest tight end in the draft. Upside, that's a different story. I definitely think Hawkinson and Noah Fant have a higher upside. But like I said, Irv Smith is the most complete one coming out of the draft.
Well, I've seen a lot of mocks that have Irv Smith falling a lot farther than Fant and Hawkinson now. So it's gonna be interesting. I mean, I've seen a lot where he's going to the Patriots. Actually, I saw a lot of that.
32. Yep.
And
I'd be so mad.
That would suck for you being a Bama fan. Now you can't really cheer for the guy.
Yeah,
that would suck.
I hope he shits the bed in the NFL at that point. If we're being until he leaves the Patriots.
This guy is the worst. Oh man, we're gonna leave it on that note. You can go on. I know we can keep going, but tomorrow's definitely is going to be interesting. It's oh man, I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight. I'm so excited. It looks like Christmas for me. I love it. But
this is what we've been waiting for.
Yo, for real, we've been talking about this I don't even know how long we've been talking about this. Probably since the season. It's right as college football started or ended or something, but oh man.
Man, I've been talking about the draft since the Jets season ended. All right.
Oh, you're not lying.
Hey.
You're not lying. I think me and the Boo have been since the Giants were 0-2. We were like, all right, well, I like this guy.
Literally, bye week came, and Joe is like, okay, so as of right now, these are the top 15 projected players for next year. I was like, damn, Joe, it's the bye week. Relax.
Bro,
Yo, I've been looking forward to this draft every year. I look forward to the next draft every year that we don't draft a running back in the top 2 rounds. That's every fucking year. I'm sitting here yo, Please get us a 3-down guy. Get us a 3-down guy. Oh, fucking what's the?
Wait a minute. Hold the fuck up. Hold up. You want to draft a running back, but didn't y'all just trade for Jordan Howard?
Yes, we did.
And you still want a running back?
Yes.
All right, respect.
The reason being because number one, when we won the Super Bowl, we had both. Our 3 running backs was Corey Clement, Jay Ajayi, and LeGarrette Blount.
So if that's the case, then you don't even need to draft a running back in the first 2 rounds. Keep drafting them in the 3rd or 4th and 5th.
And picking them up on free agency, no, it would work.
If you want,
it would work if we had somebody else other than fucking Jordan Howard. But no, we only got Jordan Howard. I would like to pick a running back. Like, because we have Jordan Howard, I'm okay with picking a Darrell Henderson in the later rounds. And I think that would be phenomenal for as far as the fit. But Jordan Howard doesn't have a very long contract here. And it's obvious what we do. We pick up a LeGarrette Blount or a Jay Ajayi type. And after their contract is up, let them go and, pick up another one. So I feel like we should really take this draft here to make a actual solution permanent,
Hey, don't sleep on Benny Snell and Devin Singletary.
Oh, not like I really like these running backs from Benny. Like, as far as running backs, I would not have a problem with us drafting. You got Josh Jacobs, Damian Harris, David Montgomery, Darrell Henderson, Benny Snell, Miles Sanders. Like, there's a lot of guys in this draft that I think are really good. Oh my gosh, what's the guy's name? Travion something.
There's Travion Williams and there's Trevon McMillan.
Yeah, Travion Williams. I mean, like, this draft is deep with running back. So if we did go 4th round, I wouldn't I'd just be like, shit. I hope, I just hope that it's not a Donnell Pumphrey. You feel me? Like, do you know who Donnell Pumphrey is?
Yeah, San Diego State University, man. That was a stud.
Oh yeah, he was a stud. But what did you just say about fucking Marquise Brown? Donnell Pumphrey is literally smaller than everybody in this page or in this group right here. And I mean, we're all kind of heavy set, but I don't care. He's smaller than my girlfriend over there. Like, come on. Donnell Pumphrey just got a chest. Like,
oh my God. So you have a running back, and basically you want another running back.
In the second, being that I hope we trade back from the first.
So basically, you're being selfish.
Basically, he's being a female right now. Is what's really going on. He's got something.
Are you calling females selfish? Because I'm pretty sure he's got your head privilege.
I'm not saying. Whoa, I'm not. First of all, Joe called you selfish. Okay, I'm saying you got a good running back, but you want another one. You want somebody else.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome to Nosebleed Section, where we throw each other under the bus.
Right? Right?
We used to be a family.
Oh, you got a wide receiver. Don't get another one. Like, fuck out of here. No. Like, Jordan Howard.
I mean, that's different. You need more than 1 or 2 wide receivers.
Evidently, the Eagles do too. Like, what do you mean? We haven't run a 1 running back system since 2014, bro. That's 5 years. Like, we need another one. And the year after that, we had Ryan Matthews and DeMarco Murray. Ugh. I pray you never do that. You gotta leave the NFL. Let somebody else have fun.
Well, yeah, I was about to say
Saquon Barkley. Like, come on.
First of all, it's Saquon.
No.
It's Saquon, not Shaquan.
Oh, excuse me, Saquon. But either way,
put some respect on
Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Barkley, Darius Geis and whoever else they got.
Adrian
and then,
Peterson.
you drop all the way down to Jordan Howard. So,
I'm pretty sure they re-signed Adrian Peterson.
And don't they have like Rob Kelly or something like that?
I don't know, but I definitely know for a fact they re-signed Adrian Peterson.
They re-signed Adrian Peterson, but Darius Geis is their guy for the future. I liked him in the draft coming out when he was coming out too. But
whoop-de-doo,
the Eagles
Basil.
are obviously the weakest point of the NFC East running backs.
You can't be mad at us because you guys don't decide.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not mad at y'all. I'm just glad y'all didn't pick a quarterback last year and hope that y'all don't have a chance to pick a quarterback this year.
Sit at 6, they'll definitely have a chance.
Shit, me too, my guy. I hope we don't get a quarterback this year either.
Right? So, like, what are you at with it, bro? It's cool. It's cool.
Well, we used to be a family show. I don't know what happened to our values.
What the fuck was that? You still got to worry about your students, bro.
Yeah, don't speak on my behalf. I never wanted a family show. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, man. We wanted to say fuck Tom Brady, like with no, censoring shit.
Yeah, since we're throwing people under the bus, Joe is the one that wanted a family show.
Fam, I've heard 8-year-olds say fuck Tom Brady. All right? I'm not worried about us.
This was my vision, and we ruined it. Terrible. I'm ending the show. We've been at it too long. Oh my god.
Hey Joe, real quick before you. No, I'm just kidding.
I was about to punch you in the throat via the screen. Nah.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting. All right, we're done for the night. I gotta go take a shower. You guys are ridiculous. Guys, thanks for listening to another episode of Nosebleed Section. Hopefully, our other videos can get pushed. You guys know the goal. We already broke 100 on one video. Pushing 200 and 500. Want to keep going. All we can do is ask you guys to support us, like us, except Dre. Don't like or support him.
I mean,
just don't.
You ain't gotta like us personally, but definitely like our page.
Yo, that's a fact. Listen.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not a good person at all.
Yeah, look.
I think this podcast is pretty good.
I'm not perfect. I never meant to be perfect. You know what I'm saying?
I, on the other hand, am.
All right, good night, America. I'm out of here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, keep your mic muted, Dre. I gotta end the show. Oh my gosh. Please go out, like, share, support us, follow us, subscribe, click links in bios. I don't know what else to
Give
do.
us some comments. If you hate us, let us know. If you love us, let us know. It's always valuable.
Facts. Let me know if you hate me. I would love that shit, honestly.
Yo,
I get off on that.
These guys all hate me anyway. I want you guys to,
That's true.
I'm ready for it.
We don't hate you, Dre. We just hate your fucking team.
Yeah, I don't know why. Because they wanted to win a backup.
No, you guys are just.
Let's not rip open this scab.
You're right. My bad.
You don't put the scab though. Oh my god.
I mean, you guys were the last to do it. We just got the new Jeff Hostetler. Like, come on, don't worry about it. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right either.
You know, I noticed last week our video did very well. I think we're gonna go back to that format next week, guys.
Buy me out. Buy me out.
All right, Ray, we'll cover your fee on the website.
Word, I need that $26.
A food, make a new bracket. Make a new one. Analyst you want to see kicked off the show. Better do.
All 4 number 1 seeds are Dre in every bracket.
Yo. What if they vote you off the island, Joe? Oh, okay.
Can't keep the host off the island.
You can't do it. Everything's gonna be Dre. We're kicking Dre off.
They're gonna do a Giants versus Giants shit. They're gonna say it's too many Giants fans for one podcast.
Well, shit, y'all just got to eat that. I don't know what to tell y'all.
Oh man.
Everybody say good night, man. We're out of here. We're
All right,
done.
on that note, good
Good
night,
night.
guys.
Watching.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, you guys are the worst, man. I don't know why I did this with you.